Hello and welcome back to week 3 of the Flesh in Heaven series. I wanted to come on really quickly just to share because I didn't realize everything that fasting was doing for me. I thought it was just about discipline, but it actually changed how I hear God, how I heal, how I think, and how I handle my emotions. And the last one surprised me the most. I want to share 4 things I personally have been experiencing through fasting. First, fasting to hear. I've noticed that I hear God more clearly and more intimately when I fast. It's almost like He begins revealing things from the inward spirit out. And I realized something. When I intentionally decrease the influence of my flesh, there's less congestion on the road to my natural understanding. The noise gets quieter. My spirit becomes more attentive, and I can recognize what God is revealing to me with greater clarity. Second, fasting to heal. God showed me something about my own healing that completely shifted my perspective. I thought I learned that I had to defend myself at a young age. But God said, no. You learned that who you thought would protect you didn't. And that affected the way I learned to trust. It even affected my faith towards God. And fasting created enough stillness for God to show me what was underneath that behavior. Not just what I was doing, but why I was doing it. Third, fasting to focus. I am able to articulate my thoughts better, period. I understand my emotions better, and there's not this constant blur that comes from continually giving the flesh what it wants. Because sometimes the flesh doesn't just want food. The flesh wants attention, the flesh wants stimulation, the flesh wants to react, and sometimes the flesh just wants to talk. And fasting has been teaching me how to quiet all of that so I can actually hear myself think and hear God clearly. And lastly, fasting for emotional freedom. This one really surprised me. I recently had a disagreement with someone, and God told me I couldn't talk about it for the rest of the weekend. This happened on a Friday. And honestly, that was hard because I wanted to tell somebody. I wanted to explain how this person played in my face. I wanted to tell the story and retell the story and probably tell it again, just to make sure everybody understood why I was right, but I couldn't. God told me not to talk about it. And by Monday, I was completely fine. The emotional energy had been taken out of it. Why? Because I hadn't fed it all weekend. I didn't rehearse it. I didn't retell it. I didn't keep giving it my attention. That's when I realized I had fasted my mouth. I didn't just fast from food. I fasted from giving that situation more life through my words. Because every time I would have told that story, I would have had to emotionally reconnect myself to what happened. I would have to rehearse the offense, rehearse what they said, rehearse what I said, rehearse how it made me feel. But because I couldn't keep feeding it with my words, by Monday, what felt so significant on Friday had become almost trivial. Now the situation didn't change, but I had. And God showed me that sometimes emotional freedom comes from simply refusing to keep feeding the emotion. And that's why I'm realizing that fasting isn't just about losing something. And even working out isn't just about losing weight. These disciplines can teach us how to bring our flesh under submission so that we can mature in the image and the likeness of God. Because the goal isn't just a smaller body. Don't get me wrong, that is a goal. The goal is a transformed life, a clearer mind, a healed heart, a disciplined flesh, and a spirit that is more sensitive to God. So don't just fast to lose something, fast to become someone. Be blessed, follow along for more, and I will see you on the front lines.